So in this series, I'm presenting some ideas for my new book, How to Be Miserable in Your Twenties: 40 Strategies to Fail at Adulting. We've given up on feeling better and are looking into how to feel worse instead. If that's what you're into, you're in the right place. If you want the opposite, well, you're still in the right place. Just do the reverse of what I say. Some people discover they're already an expert in how to be miserable. They've been using these misery-inducing strategies all along without even realizing it. So here's today's strategy. Make confidence crucial. And this is one of those ideas that your culture is really helping out with, because you're always hearing about how important confidence is. All you have to do is believe it. Here's why. Wait, first we have to ask, confidence to do what? Well, the answer is practically anything. Go kayaking, apply for a job, do public speaking, ask for a date, move out on your own, move to a new city, go back to school, learn to drive, travel to another country, join a gym, really just about anything. And here's the deal. Before you do it, you have to feel confident. You have to have a deep gut level feeling that you can do it. So the confidence is a prerequisite for action. You feel confident first, and then you can take action, right? It's like English 100 is a prerequisite for English 200. You don't get into 200 until you've passed 100. This is an unbelievably effective way to have a miserable life. Let's say you've never learned how to swim. You've never been in a pool in your life, and you think, it's probably a good idea for me to learn how to swim, which it is. Well, before you get into a swimming pool, you have to feel really confident being in the water. And if you're not, then you're not ready. If you're getting this weird, shaky, oh, I don't know what this is going to be like, I'm not so sure about this feeling, you have to stop. You need to treat that feeling as the enemy, a dangerous enemy that you have to avoid. And what do? You wait. What you're waiting for is for it to feel right, to have that sense that you can do this, that you've got this. Once you get that feeling, then you can get into the swimming pool. Then you can go for a job interview. Then you can walk over a high bridge. Then you can talk to someone you find attractive. Then you can travel. So the best thing to do is to go home and sit on the couch and wait to feel confident. Now, why is this such a great way to feel miserable? Well, you can probably guess that confidence is never going to show up, and you'll be sitting on the couch forever. You will never travel. You will never take a course. You will never conquer your fear of heights. You will never kayak. You will never move away from home. You will never get in a swimming pool. You'll never do anything new. And that's how to have a miserable life. In my work with clients, I often draw these boxes. The box in the middle is your zone of comfort. This is the stuff that you feel confident about. I can totally talk with people I already know. I can find my way around my own neighborhood. I'm really comfortable watching Netflix. Outside this is the zone of discomfort. This is stuff I'm not too familiar with. Riding the subway, getting into the shallow end of the pool, eating in a casual restaurant alone. You know, if I do this stuff enough times, it becomes part of my zone of comfort. So eventually, I feel confident on the subway. I'm okay in that part of the pool. I can ask a question in class without shaking. Spending time in the zone of discomfort is how to grow that sense of confidence. It's how we get used to stuff. It's how we get a bigger life. But here's the deal. How do we know it's in the right zone? It's how it feels. If it's completely fine, if you feel absolutely confident, you're already in your zone of comfort. If it gives you that kind of shaky, I'm not sure how this is going to go feeling, you're there. So to keep your life small and to keep yourself small, avoid that feeling. Say you'll only do that stuff once it's inside your zone of comfort. That'll never happen. So you don't have to worry that you'll ever be in a swimming pool. You won't. Now, what if you're one of those spoil sports who wants a better life, not a worse one? Fine, whatever. Then get out of that zone of comfort as often as you can, at least once a day. Now, do I mean that you should just barrel in without thinking? Of course not. If you don't know how to swim, don't just jump into the middle of the deep end. You've still got a brain, you have to use it. Some of the stuff outside your zone of comfort is scary for a good reason, right? But applying for a job, what's the worst thing that could happen? You can imagine that it's not you thinking about this, it's your best friend. And they say, oh, this really freaks me out a bit, but do you think I can do it? Is it a good idea anyway? Thinking about it that way from the distance, you'll usually be able to come up with the right answer. Now, outside the zone of discomfort, there's actually a third zone, and that's the zone of extreme discomfort. This is the stuff that is completely beyond you right now. You can't get yourself to do it, and if you did, you'd freak out and escape immediately. Well, look, some of that stuff, good. You don't want to free climb Stawama's Chief. Terrific. Don't. Kayaking the Broken Islands. Well, that's doable once you have the skills, but if you've never been in a kayak, not yet. But some of it you already know is not a disaster. Eating in a nice restaurant alone. What are they going to do? Kill you? Inviting someone to dance. Well, they might turn you down, but you'll live. Flying on a solo vacation for a week. Someday you'd like to be able to do that. If you can get yourself to do stuff in that middle zone, what we might now call the zone of mild discomfort, similar ideas in the zone of extreme discomfort get less scary. You've hung out in the shallow end of the pool and you've had some lessons so you can edge out into the deeper end. You've gone solo over to the next town for a weekend and you lived so you can go a bit further. The stuff that feels completely impossible becomes less impossible if you do similar things that are less extreme. Now, you already know people who seem pretty confident. How did they get this way? It is not because they sat on the couch and eventually got confident. It's because they welcomed that unconfident feeling and pushed gently into it. Our society tells us that we need to feel confident in order to take action. For a smaller, less fulfilling life, believe that. Wait for your confidence to show up. It never will. The truth is actually pretty much like this. Only one small change. Action produces confidence. Do it, and it feels better. It doesn't always feel great, but it feels better. So for a miserable life, avoid taking action until the confidence arrives first. For more ideas about how to be miserable in your 20s, consult my book. It's available at bookstores and all online retailers.